Hello everyone, let us look at the difference between linking, transitive and intransitive verbs. First is linking verbs or copular verbs. Linking verbs link a subject to a noun or adjective, and this noun or adjective is called a subject complement. In other words, linking verbs connect or link a subject to a subject complement. This subject complement can be a noun or an adjective. And linking verbs gives more information about the subject. It means in linking verbs, subject complement will give you more information about the subject. For example, Saba is a writer. In this sentence, Saba is a subject and a writer is a subject complement, because a writer is giving you more information about Saba, who Saba is. Saba is a writer. Similarly, she seems unhappy. In this sentence, unhappy is a subject complement here, and it is an adjective. It is giving you more information about she, about her, how she seems unhappy. So in these two sentences, is in the first sentence and seems in the second sentence is a linking verb, because the part after it, the subject complement after it, gives you more information about the subject. So linking verb works in two ways. First is two parts of the sentence are the same, like subject and subject complement, as in the first sentence, Saba is a writer. Two parts of the sentence are the same. Either we say Saba or a writer, we are talking about the same person. Or in linking verbs, complement describes the quality of the subject, just like in the second sentence. She seems unhappy. Unhappy is the quality of she, of her. So this is why seems here is a linking verb. The most common linking verb is be. It means it can take the form of is, am, are, was, and were. But there are other verbs which are also considered linking verbs, like appear, become, grow, smell, look, remain, sound, taste, feel, run, and get. Another thing about linking verb is that it cannot be turned into a passive voice. The waiter is attentive, another example, and he feels great now. In both the sentences, is and feel are the linking verbs. Moving on to intransitive verbs. Intransitive verb does not have any object. Do remember, an object is always a noun or a pronoun. So in intransitive verb, there is no object. For example, he moved away. He moved away. There is no object here. So it is an intransitive verb. She cried silently. He jumped into the mud. In all these three sentences, there is no object. As there are no objects, so these are all the intransitive verbs. As the intransitive verbs do not have any object, so obviously they cannot be made into passive voice, because in order to make a sentence into passive voice, you need an object. Moving on to the last one, that is the transitive verb. A transitive verb passes an action to an object. Unlike intransitive did not have any object, but it transitive verb has an object. The object can be direct or indirect. What is a direct object? What is an indirect object? A direct object answers the question whom or what. On the other hand, indirect object answers to whom, to what, or for whom, or for what. For example, he conveyed the message. In this sentence, the message is the object. It is a noun. He conveyed what? The message. So the message here is a direct object. He conveyed her the message. Can you see there is a slight change in the sentence? Now he conveyed her the message. So in this sentence, he conveyed the message. This sentence was very clear. He is the subject, conveyed is the verb, and the message is the object. What is her here? He conveyed the message to whom? To her. So her is an indirect object here. In both these sentences, conveyed is the verb. In one sentence, it has a direct object. In the other sentence, also has an indirect object. Similarly, he calls me his friend. Transitive verb can further be divided into monotransitive verb, ditransitive verb, and complex transitive verb. What are these? Let us have a look. Let us have a look at those sentences again. He conveyed the message. In this sentence, we saw the message was an object, was a direct object. So here conveyed is a monotransitive verb because it has only one direct object. What happens in the case of ditransitive verb? He conveyed her the message. In the case of ditransitive verb, you have one direct object, which is the message here, and one indirect object, her here. So conveyed in this sentence is a dry transitive verb because it has both the direct and indirect objects. And the last one is a complex transitive verb. What happens in the case of complex transitive verb? A complex transitive verb has a direct object and then the object complement. What is an object complement? Any group of words which describe the object. Like in this sentence, he calls me his friend. Me is a direct object. He calls whom? He calls me. His friend is an object complement because his friend is describing me. He calls me his friend. What am I? His friend. So his friend is describing me. So this is why it is an object complement here. And in this sentence, calls is a complex transitive verb. In the next video, I'll share the difference between monotransitive verb, ditransitive verb, and complex transitive verb in detail. Do check it out. Transitive verbs can be turned into passive voice unlike the intransitive and the linking verbs because transitive verbs contains an object. It is possible that one verb can be used as linking transitive and intransitive verb. Let us see how. For example, the verb is feel. She feels the texture of the leaves with her fingers. In this sentence, the texture of the leaves. This is an object. She feels what? The texture of the leaves. So here, feels is a transitive verb. Let us try using feels as a linking verb. She feels exhausted. Exhausted is telling you something about her, how she feels. So feels is a linking verb here. Then it is she feels for her. In this sentence, there is no object. She feels for her. So, feels here is an intransitive verb. This is how a same verb can be used as linking transitive and intransitive verb.